This fighter plummeted from the 10th floor straight onto a car and survived. He had climbed out onto the ledge to rescue his beloved cat, but lost his footing and went into a freefall. As a pop MMA fighter, he immediately made a vow to return to the cage after rehab. For an extremely long time, he suffered from the fallout of that drop. Through sheer grit and grinding in the gym, he rebuilt his physique, and as soon as the medics cleared him, he stepped up to take a bout. Because he managed to survive and recover from such a drop, the fans dubbed him Venom. He faced off against a fighter named Jean-Michel, and his opponent couldn't have cared less about Venom's past struggles. As soon as the opening bell rang, it was clear Venom hadn't fully dialed in his range, miscalculating the distance slightly. His rival was finding his rhythm but was still too gun-shy to mount a full offensive. Jean threw a jab but whiffed, amping up the tension. Neither man was rushing to advance the position, patiently waiting for the other to blink first. Venom initiated the attack, but John shucked him off. So far, John couldn't find a home for his lead jab. He started trying to hypnotize Venom with his hand movement. This baited Venom into a desperate charge to try and clip Jean. Building on the momentum, he kept up the pressure, tracking his opponent across the ring. Once they were in the pocket, Venom landed some solid shots, drawing first blood in the bout. You could see it on Venom's face. This fight was about something much bigger. A victory would prove to himself and the world that he still got that dog in him. Jean started to crack under the pressure and threw a wild counter, triggering a chaotic exchange between the two. Expecting the onslaught, Jean successfully countered with a shot to the button and refused to give up ground. Venom also put his head movement on display with some slick counters. He began trapping Jean against the ropes, unloading combinations in hopes of finding the chin. It was obvious now, Venom was fully back from that incident and ready to secure the W. In the final minute of the frame, he uncorked a bomb that scored a knockdown. Jean tried to clear the cobwebs, managing to beat the count and continue the scrap. He became even more terrified of the incoming fire and decided to just pedal away until the bell. But Venom didn't take his foot off the gas, stalking him until the ref stepped in to signal the end of the round. In the corner between frames, Venom looked satisfied with himself, soaking in the fact that he was back in the squared circle he loved so much. Jean, on the other hand, was lost out there and could feel that the finish was looming. Venom gave a gesture, signaling that this would be the final round for his opponent. Jean was jumping at every feint, completely refusing to go on the offensive. Venom was just biding his time, waiting for the opening to put this fight away quickly. Unable to handle the pressure, John threw out a pawn jab in a desperate attempt to keep the distance. Methodically closing the gap, Venom uncorked a heavy shot. He swarmed for the finish as a chaotic flurry erupted in the center of the arena. Jean's tentative approach couldn't save him from what came next. Venom clobbered him with a vicious combination, putting him out cold and proving to himself that he's still a threat in the cage.